How many accounts should I have? Hi, I'm the Frugal Cyborg MR3. In this part of the channel, we talk about frugal living, saving money, and budgeting. So if you like this kind of content, then like, then subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share these videos. Okay, the reason why I asked, uh, how many accounts should I have? Because I get this question asked in so many different ways. How many accounts do you have? How many accounts should I start with? And so on and so forth. Okay, how many accounts should you have? Well, I hope you have at least two at the least. One for saving money and one for your personal spending. And if you can, some people are so good that they don't need any other accounts. They manage their bills all from their checking account, and they had their 6 months of savings or 12 months, whatever, 3 months, whatever they have in their savings account. Okay, then I started with two, just like that. Next, when I got a little older and I wanted to be a little bit more cautious with my money, then I added a third account. So one for savings, one for personal, and another one just for my bills. This made life a lot easier. But when I started saving more than my amount that I needed for at least a 3-month emergency, I graduated and I started a fourth account. And that one I would call emergency funds. Then my smaller emergency or targeted savings, that's what I call that one. My bill account and my personal. So I have four. I still have four to this day. But you can have as many as you want. Maybe a lot of people, there is a couple that had, I think it was like 21 different accounts in a video I've watched like years ago. And for me, that is way too much because I would forget. I would have to name them all or put a name on them. But for me, that is way too much. They had theirs for their pet insurance and their pet food and their car insurance. Then another one for their health insurance. And that was, for me, that's just way too much. One for internet and all that. But it's up to you. If you can get as many checking accounts that are free, that is pretty good. But I would say maybe even just less than five or less. 2 to 5, actually. That would be a safer bet. And people always ask me, where should I bank at? I do not know where you're living, but you can go with a traditional bank if there's a discount on some plans. But another one is credit unions. Credit unions are really awesome. I never really hear complaints about credit unions because I have one of my accounts with the credit union, and what it is you have to at least have, I think it was like $5 in your savings, and that's $5 to start your savings, and they give you the checking account for free. So if you can find something like that, then I would say get that kind of account. And there's no monthly fees on these. So these are the accounts you could try getting. Or some banks will say if you can deposit this much, get a direct deposit. Most of us get direct deposit these days. So and if it goes into your checking account, there's no monthly charge. And if you have at least a few dollars going into your checking, again, they say your checking account is free. So if you can find any of these kind of accounts, then I would say try getting it because there are so many good banks out there. I know there are some scarcity, and there are some wealthy people that say don't put all your money into one account or with one bank. If you never heard of what happened a few months ago, some people, they freaked out, which you should never do with your money. And they took out all their money. So that was a lot of people taking out their money. So the banks could not have that kind of cash on them. So they kind of ran out of money and they kind of went under. But if you keep your money in one account, then I would say maybe move some to a different bank, so you don't ever have to panic and never take all your lump sum amount. Because if you have a bank, most banks have the FDIC, so you don't need to panic. It covers up to, I believe, $250,000. I know most of us don't have that much in one account, so you're covered. If you do, maybe you can spread it around. But if you have more than that, then I would say move some over. But you are financially covered if you have $250,000 and your bank is FDIC covered, because that covers you for $250,000. So if the bank, something ever happened to the bank, you'll get it back. So don't panic and start taking out all your money despite what people say, because people are people. They're humans. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to panic. So don't panic. Just leave your money in the bank, because if everyone takes out all their money, then it's gonna be trouble for everybody else. Pretty much, they're always talking about, well, this happened back in 1940 or 1930. Well, back then they didn't have FDIC, so you don't need to panic. I'm not gonna panic because I know I studied banks, and I've been studying banks. And if you want, you can put your bank into a savings account. This is called a high yield savings account, where all you got to do is put it in. It's one of those those banks that you put online. They don't have a actual building, or because so your money will just continue to save money. It's on one of these online banks. I don't know how many banks, but if you have one of those banks, maybe you can help some of the people here if you have one of those online banking. Mine's is a bank, like it's almost like Bank of America, but it's not Bank of America. So, but if you want, you can try one of those. If you want to put your 6 months or your emergency funds into one of those, that would be good. It'll save up. It'll continue to build money rather than just a regular savings account. And people ask me about CDs or other CDs. Right now, they're not really that good. I checked my own bank, and pretty much just leaving it into my regular savings account is pretty much just as good as a CD. So it's kind of gone down lately, ever since these online banks went up and started saving money faster. Some people say they put in $1,000 and it accumulated $100 at the end of the year. Some people put in $10,000 and automatically by the end of the year was $1,000 extra in their savings account. So you might want to check on those. Just maybe type in the word high yield savings account, and maybe it's on the computer. It's going to give you banks to check out. But you might just want to try these accounts if you want to add interest to your savings. That way you can make money while you sleep. And these are just my things on banking. But 5 or less for me. That was the question. How many bank accounts should I have? But if you're just starting out, 2 is going to be good for right now. 1 for personal bills, do everything through there. And another one for savings, build up a emergency funds. After that, you might want to graduate. Maybe start a bill account. Or you could start a bill account right away. But at least 2. At least 2 for everybody. So if this video was any help, then give it a thumbs up. I'm the Frugal Cyborg MR3, and this is The Narrative. And everybody, stay frugal, my friends.